After all, it is Tuesday, it is talk show time. We are here with some more fun, but more importantly, more beer. Because why not? But we are also here to be talking about video game news, what's going on in the industry, or even just video game industry adjacent things. Because it's all gonna kind of tie together at some point, so we gotta talk about it. So we will. Why not? And in the meantime, let's have a beer or two, have some fun, and just hang out and chat with everybody. Why not?
What makes a building? Concrete?
Concrete, glass, and steel is my guess. That's what makes a building.
It's more than
Shut up, commercial. Silly commercials on Spotify. Get out of here. I don't want thee. Oh well. But with that being said, actually, I don't even know why I started Spotify back up. Oh well, who cares? Screw it. With that being said, let's dive back on in to the talk show and see what's going on. You may notice something a little bit different tonight. Partially because Paul's not feeling super well. He's still having some pain from... I'm not going to get into it, but he's still having some pain at the moment. Welcome, Krydos. Thank you for the sub. I will get the tin of beans. Jelly beans, that is. And we will do a spit. Yes, I know. Yes.
Having
Yes,
a whole conversation.
I hear you. Well, it's because...
Oh, beans.
Yes, beans. Yeah, see?
Beans.
Beans. Beans and beer.
Beans and beer. Delicious.
Yes.
Beans and beer sounds like a lesbian bar.
Okay.
I'd go there.
Oh, fuck me.
Yes. Nice.
Okay.
So I guess I should start, huh?
Yes. By the way, welcome. How are you tonight? I'm
Good,
going to
how are
be
you?
burning up.
Yep. Title of my sex tape.
You might want to go see a doctor for that.
Yeah. Oh, who's got health insurance in this day and age? We live in America. Get it together.
Okay, go to Canada and then go see a doctor.
Go to fucking jail. I got a broken tooth too. I was like literally thinking, I was like, you know, if I just like do some misdemeanor and get this thing fixed in like 3 days. Anyways,
You're not far from the truth.
I know.
Man, that's the sad part, really.
I know. Seriously. So what do we want to start talking about? Oh no, let's not talk about something bummery. Let's talk about something that is more annoying than anything else. So did you see that Russia is shutting down Discord across the entire country?
I did not see that.
Yep.
That is interesting.
And kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And totally in line with Russia. So, as reported by the Russian business daily, the Kommersant, which is the most Russian name I've ever heard for a Russian like magazine, they are shutting down messaging on Discord, which is estimated to have between 30 and 40 million users within the country, roughly around 4% of Discord. That's also kind of crazy.
I'm not surprised that there's that many users reported in Russia. When you think about it. No. Bots.
Yeah, sure. True. Also that.
I mean,
but
honestly,
there is a lot of dudes in Russia.
Yeah, I will acknowledge that. But the simple fact that, to kind of put it in something more identifiable, what?
The population is 144 million, and that was in 2022.
Oof.
Yeah. But that also does put you right. Because if it's 144 million, so what you're telling me is like what? Like a little over a third or a little under a third of the country uses Discord? That doesn't seem right either.
Yeah, no.
You know?
But I mean, considering you have companies like Twitter, no, I will not call it Letterbit.
But it's going to give it to you.
Yeah. But basically, the simple thing is, though, you look at Twitter before Elon. Yes, there were bots. I'm not going to deny that. There were bots. But then he comes in, gets rid of all the moderation team entirely, and then you look at it now, and it's like, oh, look, I'm just being spammed by bots. Literally, there's nobody on my feed that is an actual person, it seems. So it's like, oh, okay, fine. Why do I even bother with Twitter anymore?
Pornography.
And why wouldn't I just go straight to porn sites?
Pornhub?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, I have a slutty, ex.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to breeze through. Like, it's like a hors d'oeuvre of disgusting before I go and like choose which category on Pornhub. You know?
And
I don't know.
That's why the name of your sex tape is I'm Burning Up.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever. Okay, everybody else like has like such normal sex lives. You guys are like other people are boring. I think that
No,
you're not
the rest
wrong.
of us don't air it out in the public.
That's fair. Fucking weirdos. I think you're not wrong about the bot thing. Actually, it's funny that you say that. So I'm reading the article, and of course, like because it was PC Gamer, was where I read this, and the man, some of the comments are absolutely hilarious, like literally like mad funny, like CS2 kind of things. But then there's like other dudes who are just saying foul shit for like no reason. Like, and I don't know what to do about that. Like, so I was like gonna engage with a couple people who were memeing on it, and then I was like, ooh, beamed up again. Oof. But like, you know what that is hilarious. That is excellent. Have you ever heard that dead internet theory?
Yeah.
Okay, that like there are so many bots now that bots are talking to bots, and there's such a thing as good bots, bad bots. It's kind of depressing, but like I don't know. This is just like another like okay. So let me read a little bit more about this. So the Russian state media regulator, this is the most Russian name I've ever heard. I'm gonna butcher it. Roskomnadzor has issued 5 separate rulings relating to Discord since September 20th this year. And now they basically can be used to like, justify stuff. But again, as the Commersant quotes an anonymous source as saying the ban is being considered for violations of Russian law. They don't mention what laws. They just, Russians, they love their like they love bureaucracy and not telling anyone shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what they love.
Oh yeah.
And those concrete ass buildings with 3 windows going down the side, and that's it.
That are probably not all aligned either.
Yeah, probably not. So that's like, and so they said this today that it might be happening in coming days, which is also crazy.
God.
Like no swing around, nothing. Russian users have also complained about periodic outages on Discord all over September, with many people having to use VPNs. But like, dude, are VPNs like how long is it going to be until they start shutting off VPNs? Like
I'm more wondering how long is it going to be until it starts becoming effectively North Korea.
Right.
Or
like
China.
Just complete and total, or China, just like lockdown, you know? And it was on both the web and the mobile versions. And this was not, and again, this still hasn't happened, but Discord magically hasn't been working correctly for ostensibly already a month prior to them even announcing this like shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's like really shitty here too, is obviously the players, right? People who use Discord, which is a great service.
Yeah.
Like, frankly,
Oh, yeah.
it's one of the best video services that we have on planet Earth.
Mhm.
It's better than all the other big companies. And the developers, because developers use it because the country is kind of shit. No offense, Russians. And Russian developers use that to communicate, like, with the communities, with each other, like, you know. And technical support is implemented through Discord a lot in Russia. The head of Russian organization development of the video game industry was like, so much of our industry uses Discord. So them shutting us down, that means, like, what are we going to use?
Mhm.
Like, you know, just bad.
Oh, yeah.
And as of today, literally today, a Moscow court fined Discord 3.5 million rubles, which is $37,000. Nice economy. For apparently failing to restrict access to banned information. So now they're like fining Discord so that Discord will be like, okay, well, I guess since we're not going to, because Discord, it's not Discord's job to monitor what happens inside of Discord. That's on the individual servers. That's why it's set up that way, you know?
Yep.
So my thought is that, you know, Russia's like fining them. I mean, granted, that's a piddling amount of money, but, you know, just to dissuade them from trying to fight back, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yep. The other thing I also got to admit I find a little interesting is the simple fact of you had mentioned that some I forget what judge or whatever in Russia you mentioned, but he had issued 5 rulings since September 20th. So in other words, basically every other day, he is giving out a ruling. It's like, holy shit.
And like, how much could actually be done every other day?
Yeah.
You know, like, what? That doesn't seem right either. Like, there's so many things about this that I'm just like, again, this is America, right? Like, where it's not like our judicial system is great, but like, that's just like one guy being like, I thought of something else. I'm going to go and sit down and write a letter, and then we'll have 5 of these letters in a week. And then that'll have enough to just shut down that entire service that up to and or including 30 million people minimum use. 4% of the, and of course the comments were like, any like less interaction I have with Russians because of bots and scams and you know, dark web dealings. I get that part of it, but like, come on, man, this is not every Russian dude. I'm sure there is probably some weird Russian video game podcast just like us, 2 dudes sitting around talking about the Russian video game industry and the worldwide, you know?
Oh yeah.
So shitty.
I mean, hell, one of the games that I speedrun, Mayhem in Single Valley, in their Discord, there is a Russian chat, like English chat, Russian chat. There's a whole bunch of different chats for basically, if you don't speak that language, okay, find the one that you do speak and go there and talk with the people. And like, I've even talked with some of the I don't know if they're devs who made the game, but they're at least connected to the game directly and been like, hey, here's a couple ideas for feedback and things like that. And they've talked with me and been like, oh, this is a good idea. Oh, or no, it's not a good idea. Or, hey, that's a future thing if we get funding, blah, blah, blah. And they're literally just cutting themselves off, cutting off the people of their country.
I mean, it's just one of those things when you have, like, you know, one guy at the top and he doesn't want to have people talking shit about him or his decisions. I mean, like the Ukrainian war has been going on for a very long time now, and the rest of the world has basically just stopped talking about it.
Unfortunately,
because there's not as much, because there's not as much information coming in and out. Like, because that's, you know, Yeah, it's so crazy.
Oh god.
But like Discord is so big, and like again, it's in our sphere that
Yeah.
it's big, right? Like if I
Right.
told my mom that Discord was shutting down, and even if I was like, it cuts off 30 million people, she'd be like, it's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, your mom. Well,
So
actually, no. Your mom first would probably be like, "What's Discord?"
yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, to be fair, she does know, she understands this much of it.
okay.
That it is a video conferencing thing that we use a lot to hang out with each other. She understands that much.
Okay.
But you know, what am I going to do? Sit here and try to explain like the ins and outs of the geopolitical field around Discord and the way that Russia? Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not happening.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like it. So we'll probably end up coming back to it, like maybe even the next time we, you know, do the show. Frankly,
Yeah.
at the rate that they're trying to shut this shit down. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen. But again,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Putin seems like a kind of guy who like
Be very
"Oh, I
reasonable
want-
and understanding.
yeah, I was in the wrong.
Yeah,
You know what?
totally.
No,
Mm,
let the
yeah.
people have that and food. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Anyways, yeah.
By the way, the whole
Uh,
Ukraine thing. I'm totally sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go out there and personally start rebuilding homes.
Yeah.
Like he seems like that kind of guy.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jesse, thank you. Jessica, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you. And it is your turn. You can go.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, I'm going to go start off in the bummer drummer just to get that out of the way.
Well, it's not like fucking Russia shutting down communications. It was like, woo!
True.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
this is going from bad to oh shit. It
Okay.
sucks. So
that's fine.
fair warning.
Yeah, might as well get it out of the way.
But I also kind of feel that this is definitely owed to the person. I'm assuming most people probably don't know, and I apologize already. I'm probably going to butcher part of the name at the very least. Atsuko Tanaka.
Mhm.
She is a voice actor in Japan. She is the Japanese voice behind iconic characters such as Street Fighter's Chun-Li, Lara Croft, Bayonetta, Tess in the Japanese version of The Last of Us. She also did the voice of Kane in Nier Replicant. She also did apparently some voice acting for anime for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yep,
Motoko,
quite a few actually.
Motoko Kusanagi, Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell. She was a very
She was the major baby.
she was a very well known, very iconic voice actor in Japan. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, she passed away.
Yeah.
At
She was young too.
61. Yeah.
Yeah, that is not old.
The only thing we know as general public is her son gave the announcement that she had passed away of a undisclosed illness, and that's all.
Fucking cancer.
Well, we can hypothetical theorize all we want, but that's what she wanted to let the general public know. It was a undisclosed illness, but she passed with peace, though, is the thing.
Good.
So, and honestly, I've probably actually no, I have heard her because I have the two Ghost in the Shell movies, and the second one was only in Japanese for voiceover, so I have heard her.
That's like all. That's all I listen to. So
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. When I was doing college online, I had that, and what was the other one? Ghost in the Shell, the second Ghost in the Shell movie, and there was another movie that I ran because it was in a foreign language. I didn't it was Hero. Yeah, with Jet Li. I natively, if you just pop them into a DVD player, they're in Ghost in the Shell was in Japanese and Hero was in Chinese. So I didn't understand it. I was just like, okay, it's background noise. Study.
Yep. That's fair.
And it worked. So it was like, okay, cool.
yeah, the fact that she was Chun-Li That's rough.
Yeah,
That's rough stuff, dude. Like you could make the argument very easily that Chun-Li was the first and probably most iconic woman in all of gaming, in all honesty. Like Lara Croft would be a very close second. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it depends
But Chun-Li,
on the
1989?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh god, yeah.
Come on.
It kind of depends on the generation of gaming when you got into it.
Sure.
As far as what you know her from. But realistically speaking, yeah, Chun-Li would definitely, I would say, be one of the, like, okay, this is gaming's Ripley kind of a thing.
Right. Royalty.
Yeah.
Like because you could literally show anyone on planet Earth a picture of Chun-Li and they'd be like, yeah, Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, right. Like, and the only other ones that you could maybe even say is Ken and Ryu. Like, you know, like for Street Fighter at any rate. And the fact that like she's the strongest woman on earth. I don't know. I've like always really loved Chun-Li. Like it's funny because I hate playing her, not my character. I'm more of a Cammy person.
Okay. Fair.
It's just like Chun-Li was one of the original 8. You know what I'm saying? There was 8 like characters and she was one of them. And that design is so iconic to this day. You still see cosplay done of it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's just that iconic. So losing her is lame. That is lame.
It really sucks. Yep.
Yeah.
So
well, I hope the best for the family. And you know, maybe we'll do like maybe Capcom will do like a Chun-Li like event. Like, you know what I'm saying? That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Definitely would be.
Yeah.
At which point I will toss it back to you and I will
eat these beans.
Eat these. I think they're Carolina Reaper beans. They don't have the dark red spots on them, so I apologize already, chat. If like none of the beans in there, I can easily identify as Carolina Reapers. But these are the same color, like tint of red, just minus the spots. So.
Well, let's keep it up with the ladies here. So I know that we had talked about this years ago. Do you remember Shirley Curry? She was the Skyrim grandma on YouTube. Yeah, figured. Most people do. She is giving up. She is quitting making Skyrim content and gaming content in general. She had a post the other day and she basically like she's getting eye surgery because you know she's old. She's like 86 I think or something like that, 84 86. And she would have to be recovering for weeks from this eye surgery, so it's not one of those like, you know, LASIK eye surgery things where you walk out the door and you put some eye drops in and you blink and you walk it off. So it's clearly something serious. And she was like, hey, I'm gonna be recovering for weeks, but I'm also just kind of sick of playing games for an audience, which is such like an older person thing to decide, right? Like the maturity to be like, yeah, I was making a bunch of money on this and yeah, I have like an audience, which dude, so many people strive to have that, but to have the maturity of like, here's a quote. It just isn't fun anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm bored with it. I'm bored to death with it. So I am making the decision now, totally finally, I am not going to be making any more gaming videos and uploading them. It seems like I spend most of my time sitting here at this computer, and lately I walk in here, look at my computer, and think, I've got to make a video today. And then just shake my head at myself and say, I don't want to. I have no desire to. And then turn and walk back out. Like, that is such a mature old lady thing to say. You know? Like, fuck this. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, and I completely understand. Like, and she probably did make a good amount of money for her and her children and her grandchildren. Dude, if you're not into it anymore, the only reason you were liking it is because you thought it was fun to play Skyrim, and people thought it was, fun to watch an old lady play Skyrim. But how long can you play Skyrim, frankly?
Sorry. Sorry, those were Reapers, by the way.
No, I know. I figured. And by the way, did you notice how masterfully I covered?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even acknowledge it. I was just like, just keep being fucking, like, entertaining. Go.
Yeah.
I think... go ahead.
I was going to say, as far as her, like, literally just making that decision, okay, I'm done, I'm stepping away. I'll be honest, I've had that thought process too at times. Mm-hmm. And then there are times I sit there and think, oh, well, I wanted to do this game, or I wanted to do that, or, well, I've still got this going, so blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, well, okay, I'll come back to it kind of a thing. So honestly, I do applaud her for having the wherewithal as far as realizing she's not having fun. It's more of a job than her enjoying her retirement, because that's what she's what, 80 something now,
86 I think.
Yeah So it's like she's well within her retirement, and it's like, if you're not having fun doing it, do something else. Don't do it. So
you made some cash, like, and you had fun doing it. Like, a lot of people in life don't even get that opportunity. So good shit. Like, I think that when creators leave, and I know it's been coming up a lot over the last like year, but when creators leave, there are two camps that form. Like, one is people going, hey, we want more content. And then there's the other half of the, no offense, more normal people like me and you who are like, dude, like, phases in life, like, they cycle, like, and you get that as you get older. But sometimes when, you're younger and you don't realize that, like, nothing is fun forever. Nothing. I don't care what it is. And if you were able to have fun, get some monetary value out of it, and you get to choose, because that's the other thing, you get to choose. Mm-hmm. Some people don't get to choose when all of a sudden that shit is done, so so I think that's just really cool and really mature. This is also really funny, so this is the last part of the quote. I'm going to start making a quilt that I've been wanting to make for a long time. I designed the squares a long time ago, and I will be showing you bit by bit as I make it. And I'll tell you something about a book I'm reading, and tell you a little bit about it, just in case you'd like to read it.
Very
so,
cool.
She's still going to like, hey, there'll be uploads. It won't be the same content, but it'll be like having your Nana. Like, I'm making this quilt. Like,
she still has her community. She knows that what she was doing isn't fun anymore, so she's kind of just pivoting. Mm-hmm. But she's also saying, hey, don't expect more.
Yeah.
But there may be surprises for more.
Bonus stuff. Yeah.
So,
And she'll probably lose like 95% of her audience, but who gives a shit? She doesn't clearly care.
Yeah.
You know? I like it. Like, you know what? I do want to see the quilt. You know? Like, show me the quilt.
Yeah.
Like, it seems to make you happy.
What book is she reading?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure it's some terrible thing that my mom would be like, oh, yeah, I read that. It was pretty good. And I'd go, okay, that sounds boring as shit to me, but okay, sure. Like, it's sweet that she understands that, like, people still do want that kind of content, but she's just, you know what? Hey, I'm going to do the Nana thing, and I'm going to leave you $5 for your Christmas card, and it will always be there, kind of a thing. And I think that's sweet.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe the book she's reading is Wolfman Bare Chest. It's about
or maybe. Right. Maybe it is.
You got it. Good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got it. Maybe it is like, or like, maybe it's just some sort of random smut. Like, that would be funny.
Yeah.
I think that any of it, like, at the end of the day, is a good thing, and choosing your own fucking mental health is always just the move,
Oh
dude.
god, yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, especially when you're 86, how
Yeah.
many more fucking what you
Mhm.
gonna make it to 95 maybe? Like, Jesus, you got 9 years, lady. Like, enjoy yourself. Stop doing anything that you don't like doing.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Hell, I remember hearing about her, I want to say back when like I first started at Funcom, my
Yeah, it was
first
a long-
time I was there, which was almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it
it's
was
like,
a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was at EA when there was like YouTube rumors going around about her, and then I saw her and I was like, oh yeah. And she was just playing, and it was like the shittiest quality videos, but like it is kind of cute to
Hey.
watch an old lady play fucking Skyrim.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, I like
Plus the simple fact of, okay, this is a 80-something-year-old, okay, probably like 70 or 60 at the time, but something-year-old lady playing video games.
yeah.
It's like, hey, if someone that age can play it, then why can't the rest of us just chill and have fun playing games?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some of us have Alex Quino brain where it's like, I can only enjoy things if they are basically ranked or are going to annoy me to death. Like, like the only reason I've been like into this whole like Pokemon thing lately is because I'm like, I gotta get more Pokemon for Pokemon Home so I can play some fucking 2v2s. like what a psycho I am. Like, can't you just enjoy some things, Alex?
No.
No, not unless there's a greater reason to do it. And at the end of it, it's gonna be competition.
Ay, ay, ay.
Pretty funny. Why don't you go?
Alrighty.
All right.
This will be a fun one, considering
Fair.
I thought we had resolution on this one when everybody said, go fuck yourself, but apparently not. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
At least it's not NFTs again.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I think everybody universally said, go fuck NFTs.
Yeah. AI is this year's NFTs.
Yeah, unfortunately. But Unity, the company that keeps on fucking up, they apparently decided to cancel their runtime fee. Yeah. When I saw this article, I was like, we resolved that like couple of months back.
Yeah, almost a year, because you basically almost dumpstered your entire company.
Yeah, well, apparently it wasn't completely and totally resolved, because now they wanted to first line of the article here, Unity has canceled its runtime fee after deep consultation with its community, customers, and partners. To which I just want to sit here and say, so Alex, how much deep consultation did they do with you in regards to Kingpin Royale?
I didn't get an email.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I was gonna say, I didn't get an email.
Something tells me it's more along the lines of shitty company is saying buzzwords to not sound so shitty, and oh look, shock and maze, they're still shitty. But basically. Oh, yeah, actually, last September, so a year ago, last month, Unity announced that they were imposing a runtime fee on every install, which basically meant every time you start the game up, that's charging the developers of the game. After insane amounts of universal backlash against Unity across the entire gaming industry, which everybody was just like, you either undo this or we all go elsewhere. And a lot of people already said, we're going elsewhere regardless of if you undo this or not.
Yeah, they ended up losing quite a few developers from that.
Oh, God, yeah. Plus, not to mention the simple fact of just indie hobbyists and indie developers.
And just goodwill.
Yeah.
Which is literally goodwill, especially in the gaming sphere where dudes are like elephants. They never fucking forget.
Oh, God, yeah.
Goodwill goes so far. And if you snub the customer, we'll be like, wow, we'll go, okay, memes for the next 10 years against you. No problem.
Yep.
And it takes so much to dig yourself out of that hole, you know?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. But Unity has sat here and said that they're undoing that. They're They're making their pricing of their engine and services more reasonable and things like that. But here's the thing. When I went to their page and looked for pricing, just about everything is free, upon request, consultation, like nothing is spelled out. So where is this clarity that they're having as far as their upfront pricing to be fair about everything? I'm just looking at their website and I'm just like, so I've got to like be on your payroll or something to understand your pricing algorithm or whatever? Because, and not only that, but like going to their website, I found one set of plans and pricing. But then going to another link in the article, it gave me a completely different Unity run website with completely different prices. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, it's all over the place. Because the two weren't matching up either. And I was sitting here like for a week straight being like, okay, let's refresh both pages just to see if they all of a sudden boop, merge or something.
Sure.
And no, they never did. And it's just like, this is not clear or obvious as to what you're doing. So you guys are still in the doghouse.
I can tell you this, that the license, because I just logged into my account, the licenses are more expensive.
Shocking.
The individual ones are $185
per month.
A month.
Yeah.
A month.
Because that's the one that I found.
Yeah, it's $185 a month. The business one, they call it Unity in Industry.
Yep.
So if you want 4 licenses and that's it, 4, you can get them for $450, which means if you have a designer, an artist, 2 engineers, which is exactly what we had for my project, that's what we paid, $450 a month. But if you need any additional licenses underneath that, it is an additional $150.
Oof.
So, it nothing is cheap. Like, making video games is not cheap.
No,
right?
It's not.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
But that does the individual ones have definitely gone up, because I think when we got our initial licenses, they were $135 in 2017.
Okay. Yeah.
And they made so many changes that they clearly need that extra fucking $50 or whatever a month.
Yeah.
Per person.
Per license. So
Right. And again, you can make no changes at all without licenses. They do have what's known as, I think they call them underclassmen licenses. But you can make changes, but you can't check in any files.
Okay.
So basically you could have another engineer, let's say, who is doing work for the project, but he would have to send all those files to the one dude with a license, and he would have to check them in, which is a monstrous waste of time, effort, and energy, realistically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
God, dude, that sucks, dude. Why? Yeah. Like, I've never seen a company so thoroughly, actively try to flush their it's like, and I do know why it is. It's because a year ago is when they got that new president of the company, and he was an outside guy.
Yep.
And which is what always happens. McDonald's just had this happen 2 years ago. They had a new CEO come in from outside the company, and then all of a sudden prices straight through the roof.
Yep.
Because they don't really understand, and then they go, well, this is the mandate, is what it is. This time, at least, last year, at least we were able to be like, go fuck yourself, but now clearly he's seen like, oh, okay, if we just slowly erode away at like adding more and more money, maybe no one will notice,
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's what evil thinks.
Seems like the Reaper's beans charged the conversation. I won't deny that. I mean, they definitely
Not
helped.
disagreeing.
They definitely helped heat things up. Haha, pun intended.
Yeah.
I'm just full of them today. What can I say?
Full of beans. Where did I Is it
But-
me or you?
It's me, but I'm just gonna close on this whole Unity thing, saying to me it feels like the company is just trying to kind of gracefully sit here and say, "Hey, we want to get out of the industry here. We're just going to oh, quick, light it on fire! Boom! Oh, it's all gone! Oh shit!"
I mean, I feel like
it kind of feels that way, to be honest.
well, I mean, by their actions for sure, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it feels like something like one of those things where it's just like one dipshit is in charge, because I read several articles
True.
after that whole debacle
Mhm.
and it was because we reported on it several weeks after.
God, yeah.
The rest of the people in the company were like, don't do this.
Yeah.
Do not do this. But again, if you have one dumbass in charge who that's the problem with the structuring of most things.
Mhm.
One moron at the top makes the decision and goes, this is the call. Everyone has to go, okay.
Yep.
Is what it is. I actually, my next thing that I wanted to talk about, in fact, was Concord.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
I had never heard the term toxic positivity until articles started coming out about Concord. So Concord, as you know, or may not know, was in development for 8 years
Mhm.
and cost $400 million. That's not okay.
Yep.
The only fucking game that I can even think of that would cost $500 million is Grand Theft Auto. Because Grand Theft Auto, they know they can make that money back, right? At the end of the day. And they always do.
Yep.
Right? You're fucking some random title. You know what I'm saying? You're a random Sony title, a brand new IP on ostensibly a kind of a console generation. What the fuck? And so a bunch of people have left now
Mhm.
since then. And a bunch of people have said there was a culture of toxic positivity around it because it was supposed to be Sony's next Star Wars. And if you didn't have anything good to say, you got pushed into a corner. So
Yeah.
everyone started being like, yup, this is going great. Art direction's fantastic. Gameplay is S tier. Everyone's loving the fucking feel of it, which is crazy because I have never heard that term before Concord, you know?
Yeah.
So the game is still not launched, and this was 2020 once the pandemic really started kicking up.
Yep.
They started picking up a bunch of new higher ups. They had dudes from Bungie, they had dudes from Call of Duty, they had dudes from Santa Monica Studios, and all of them were tenured as fuck. And here's the weird part. I started thinking to myself, which is going to sound a little counter to the point that I just said.
Okay.
When you have so many dudes who think that their answer is right in the same project, that is also a problem. You can't just have one guy. You kind of need a couple up at the top, right? 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then that goes down. It's 2, 3, 4, and each one of them is in their own division. And then as long as those guys are in sync, you got something good going. However, if you got money being thrown around, nobody at Sony saying anything, they just went, we hired all these dudes. They make so much money. They could just easily make this game. It'll be great. It's going to be just gangbusters. And these 5 super industry leads who frankly have never worked together and clearly did not have a discernible vision for the title. I mean, if you even just look at the box art for Concord, I basically, my eyeballs ricocheted off that thing the instant I saw the main characters. I was like, that is the most that is the Guardians of Galaxy that we have at home. That is the Dollar General Guardians of the Galaxy. And again, you spent $400 million and that's what you landed on, because clearly you were either trying to over polish things, like to the point of like meaninglessness where nobody has any personality, or you had no idea what the overall vibe of the art and theme were, which is something that is hard to quantify, frankly. But that is not what it is. And it's funny that people have an easier time pointing to things that don't vibe and gel, like the whole Uncanny Valley thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's much easier to pick that out than it is to go, these are the reasons why this is so coherent and well done, like, and well maintained. That takes like a certain level of eye for stuff, like an eye for subtle detail that like that's tougher to fucking, but going
Yeah.
no, like, you know, it's like I was watching some terrible haunting show today, and Jen walked in. I'm just eating my fucking cereal, and she's like, "What is this?" And it was on a scene where there was a big demon that was living in the house, and it was a gray shadow that had a bunch of tentacles, but it was all doing it like almost in unison. So all I could think of was Mikashiva, Mikashiva. And she was like, "This looks terrible." I was like,
Yep.
"It does look." See, it's so easy.
But that's
to
what
pick
makes
out.
it so good.
Yeah, and I was enjoying it
Yeah.
because I was thinking Mikashiva, Mikashiva, but she wasn't. She just went, "This is terrible looking." So like, you know, it's just funny, like the way that like the human eye for art works like that, right? Like, it's just so easy to be like bad, like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go for it. Talk about this Concord thing a little bit.
Yeah. As far as Concord goes, though, oh, the one thing I will say is, ever since the unveiling trailer, where I forget what award show or what show it was.
Oh, VGA.
Yeah, yeah. Ever since that unveiling trailer, I was just kind of like, oh, so it's Discount General knockoff C, like Q tier Overwatch. Huh?
But also the first like couple of trailers showed no gameplay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was. I literally, like, that is the worst, most egregious thing especially like a teaser trailer, or like when I walk out and go, I don't know what the fuck that was, and that makes my brain like bury it, like, you know.
Yeah. Especially if it's a brand new IP. If it's something like, oh, hey, from Miyazaki, it's like, okay, it's another Soulsborne kind of thing.
Sure.
But like Concord, it's like a plane, a grape,
a bird.
What is this?
I had no clue.
And all the characters were just like, oh, green human, female
Blue
human,
big
robot.
guy.
It's like,
big dude too.
huh?
And by the way, do you know what the name is actually in reference to? This is like the most
grape or
baffling.
the plane.
The ship. Like, they thought that right.
The ship, which literally has no role in the game at all.
And they never showed it.
No, they did show it.
Oh, I'm sure
it was in one of those
like,
cinematic trailers.
like,
it was in the cinematic trailer.
Like, dude, they were naming it like they were fucking making a game called Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Concord. Oh, of course. Concord.
Oh, God.
Like, dude, every and again, we did have that sometimes at EA too. Like that. And again, I never heard that toxic positivity thing, but that is a good term for it, because once the higher ups have kind of made decisions, and again, everyone working on the team is going, dude, not great. but that's just the way it works sometimes. And now you're out the GPT of like an entire country's worth of money, $400 million. And the worst part is that no one who all the problems were really where none of them are going to get any shit for it.
Yep.
They'll get
take
let
their
go.
golden parachutes and be like, okay, I'm out here, bye.
Or maybe not even. Maybe they'll get let go and then they'll just find another like place to land and then just fart up that studio too.
Do the same thing.
You know, like I really wish like companies would go, dude, whose fault was this? But no one's gonna be like, oh, that was mine.
Yeah.
I'll take a bullet for the team. Like, no, everyone's gonna be covering their own ass, and like that is so ridiculous. I would just go, all right, basically upper management and up, you guys need to go find a double. We should have a thing like baseball and sports where, okay, you got up to the fucking big leagues and you got to work in AAA and good for you, but you fucked up a $400 million. You get to go back down to the farm teams. Sorry, you go work in the indie sphere now. You got to work your way back up the pipeline, bro. That way the rest of us could start moving up and get rid of these Tiznos. You're around. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think that's the way it should work.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. Storm sitting here saying, I'm actually thinking about a different take to this when he gets back to streaming, doing my best to be aggressively positive. That was fucking amazing.
I can't wait to get killed like that again.
Yeah. I mean, that honestly, that'd be kind of funny and interesting to watch. So.
It would be for a little bit. Like you'd have to be really clever in the way you
and change things up frequently. Probably.
You'd have to be very clever.
It would definitely be interesting.
It's a funny idea.
Twist. It'd be a new twist.
Yeah, it's a funny idea.
Yeah,
it's a funny idea.
But
especially if you could do physical things like bite your hand or like snap things, like still saying positive things but then doing negative things, like physically.
That'd
that would
be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, as far as like, okay, hey, upper management and like you guys worked up, you got to the, like you said, the AAA teams and whatnot, and you just delivered this wet fart. Bye-bye.
Back down the rankings.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If you are in the major league, if you're in baseball and you have 3 full seasons of just never hitting the ball when you get at bat, they send you back.
Oh yeah.
They're like, dude, or they go, you're too old, get out. Like, because there is always people to fill those spaces.
Oh god, yeah.
The thing that's frustrating about the video game industry is that they treat QA like there's always somebody behind you, because there is. But they don't treat that the same for every other position.
Yep.
They still think there's not enough like designers. There's not
designers.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like, and by the way, no offense to those motherfuckers, I could kill most of those dudes. Like, you want me to out-design that dude? I'll out-design the shit out of that guy. He's just been working at some fucking... What? Go ahead.
I will say that... I will say this, though. There probably are not enough designers and developers that want to get paid pennies.
Sure.
Which is what they're trying to get away with a lot of the times.
But if you just stop paying these morons $175,000 a year, how about you take them down to, but that's the problem. Once you get to a certain pay level of any sort of like upper management, it doesn't even matter the field. Like it could be making cookies. Like once you get to that level, you only go up from there. Like, dude, there should be a thing where like, okay, you worked at EL Fudge, like, oh man, that Christmas cookie was not good, and they tanked that fucking Christmas season. Now the next job you get $95,000 a year. Work your way back up. Like, sorry, the experience is nice. Don't get me wrong. Maybe you'll have a hit in the next one, you know? But like, it's ridiculous that like, once you hit a certain threshold, you're only making more money. Like, and taking no risk. Like, even if you fuck up badly, they're just like, yeah, man, can't wait to hire you again.
Here's your next project. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Gotta love the world we live in.
No, I don't. I disagree.
I know. Just a little sarcasm there.
Yeah, it's true. I gotta take a pee real quick.
Alrighty. Where are you taking it? He didn't hear what I said. That's okay. Let's see here. That's pardon me. That's more a conversational thing. That's okay. That's that. Alex also has that story. So let's go with this one. This one won't be confusing at all. I guarantee you, chat. Trust me. You can trust me, right? Because it's gonna be so much fun when determining the name versus the name of the thing. Woo! Oh well. This'll be fun. Just be ready to keep things in mind when referring to with space and without space, because that's about all that's going to differentiate the two. So
Okay.
obviously you
Hey,
missed
Bill.
you missed my joke of
I did.
where were you taking it? I told you.
You know what? We're done. This is the last podcast. We're done forever. This is it. You get to go back down to the minor leagues, the minor leagues. Like you made it up to this level. Now you got to go back to the dumpster. That's all there is to it. That sucks.
Okay.
Go tell Sesame Street ass jokes. God damn. That's what
No,
it
if
is.
anything, that's more of dad jokes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Bill just rotated. As soon as he said dad jokes, he was like, "Excuse me."
But okay.
Is it you or me? I
Me.
think it's you.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I will genuinely try to make it as clear as possible when differentiating between party A and party B. It's
Okay.
not going to be super easy, but just hear me out on this.
Okay.
So, we all know of the interesting Sony game that came. I'm going to use the term interesting for certain reasons. Interesting Sony game that came out called Stellar Blade.
Yep.
To some people, it's more interesting than others, but that's because the
Straight guys, you mean?
the lack of clothing the main character wears. There's also a Louisiana-based film production company. Now, okay, first off, the video game, there's a space between the words. So it's Stellar Space Blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Louisiana film-based film production company is called Stellar Blade. All one word.
Oh.
Here's the fun thing. The film company is suing Sony over the name Stellar Blade. This is where it gets really weird and interesting, kind of.
Okay.
The film company was established in 2010.
Okay.
At which point he set up the oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. The article reads a little bit weird. He had the URL for the website back since 2006. He established the company name Stellar Blade in 2010 and has been using it ever since 2011.
Okay.
In 2019, Shift Up initially announced Stellar Blade as Project Eve. So they didn't have the title;
yeah,
it was the
obviously.
project
Yeah,
name.
that's how it. Yeah, that's how it
That's
is.
standard. Yeah.
Yep.
The developers changed the title in 22 to Stellar Blade. So the game then had its name. In 23, in January of 23, Sony registered Stellar Blade as two words, as a video game related trademark.
Okay.
The owners of the film company registered their trademark for Stellar Blade in June of 23. So 6 months
And they have-
later.
Yeah. What?
Exactly.
And by the way, as a big fucking film loser, I have never heard of Stellar Blade, the film company, and you think you have the money to fight fucking Sony when you registered afterwards?
See, that's the thing. The rest of the article goes on and is like, oh, it's really confusing, and yeah, the guy is kind of raising up, trying to be like, oh, Sony's just trying to get rid of the little guy, blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, you do. I went to the website, and it's like, okay, so you do web serials, and
Oh man.
yeah, like
Man.
ooh, those web serials that are just like popping out of my head, huge now.
They're
Yeah,
huge.
I totally
They're
remembered all
huge.
their names.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, so good. Like, and I can remember several others from other companies'
Yeah.
web serials in 2024.
Yeah.
Huh.
But basically, it's kind of like, usually I can get behind the small companies that are fighting the big companies in situations like this. But you came to the party registering Stellar Blade, one word, 6 months later
Yeah.
than Sony.
Yeah.
And
This feels.
even then, Sony registered Stellar Blade, two words, as a video game related trademark, specifying video game related trademark.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were like, oh, this is our name, Stellar Blade is two words, we're registering. No, they didn't do that. They said, okay, this is video game related. So
This feels like a dude trying to drum up fucking, like, basically interest in his own company.
yeah, it does. It
Right?
very much does.
Like,
It-
that's what it feels like to me.
It-
This
it-
feels like a publicity stunt.
Yeah, it also feels
And a badly thought up one, too.
Yeah, it also very much feels like the guy who is trying to sue FromSoft because it's hidden content in Elden Ring. It's like, where's your proof?
Right. Yeah,
Show
what are
us
you
your
talking
actual
about?
proof, dude. You
Yeah.
have none.
Yeah.
So,
Now this feels like just. Do you remember when Iron Maiden, the band,
yep,
sued that video game Iron Maiden,
yep.
and then they had to change their name to Ion Storm or
Ion Maiden.
Ion Maiden,
Yeah.
and which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
And like, why? Like that one is like one where I'm like, why would Iron Maiden give a fucking shit about this? Like that makes no good goddamn sense to me.
Yep.
This is the exact opposite, where I look at the little guy and go,
This
why?
makes no sense. Yeah.
this makes no good goddamn sense.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, cool. I guess I'll remember that film company for the next 8 picoseconds of my life, and then I'll forget all about it.
Yep.
And like, again, you relate to the party for, yeah. No, this is
Oh,
like
yeah.
a guy who gets in like the tiniest little fender bender and goes, oh. Comes out of the car. Oh, my back. It's like, dude, we were driving 3 miles an hour. I was in first gear and I just released the brake. Like this is not a 45 miles an hour into the back of you.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and my neck and my back. I'm suing y'all for $145 million. Like what?
The funny thing is, though, he is quoted in sitting here saying that ever since the release of the game, whenever anyone searches for Stellar Blade, it's always pulling up the game as the top results, and
No surprise.
not just the top result, but like pages and pages.
Sue
of-
Google then. Like
Yeah,
sue Google.
It's like, dude,
that's not on Sony.
Yeah.
Sue Google. Like
it's just so weird how he's like, oh yeah, they're ruining the reputation of my film production company. It's like, no, they're not doing that right now. You're doing that.
yeah. 'Cause I can't believe that a major studio that is where is he from? Arkansas or something stupid?
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Well, okay, Louisiana is relatively well known in the film industry at least, but like it's not like a guy's like, oh, I've been around for 45 years and I've been in LA for 35 of those 45. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
oh, I just rented a trailer and I put up Cool Von Rad Industries on the side. Now, if anyone uses the word industries, I'm going to sue them. And I don't care if they make glue. I'm going to sue them because they use the word industries.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that definitely feels all sorts of dumb as fuck, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because like going to the film crews, the film company's website here, the services that they offer: on location camera lighting, on location sound, on location photography, screenwriting and plot pointing, video editing, color correction and stylization, sound editing and design, marketing strategy.
Do you know? Okay, that's funny. That last one's totally bullshit. All the rest of those things, do you know what that is? Like, do you know anything about the film industry?
Not too terribly much.
Okay, well, I'll just tell you. That's what, like, basically, like, if let's say there was gonna be a Marvel project
Mhm.
down in Louisiana, you hire film companies like that to basically do your like B stuff. So you have a secondary director who
Okay.
does like lots of fill-in connective tissue things that don't really matter. Not like all the stars are really there
Right.
usually.
Right.
Like, so that's what you do. Like, and again, who I will tell you this: if they were going to look up Stellar Blade, they would be in the film industry, and they would probably type the word films afterwards,
Yeah.
and they would be able to find it. Like, it's not that hard. And now you do. You look like a fucking knobhead.
Yep.
And if anyone was to see this, they'd be like, weird.
Hmm.
No, we'll just go with another film company because those jobs, they're basically like contractors for
Oh yeah.
films.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're contractors. Again, most major studios wouldn't use them to edit, but like, filming, shooting, sound guys,
Hmm.
lighting. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. You contract that shit out on for second unit stuff. You just made your reputation look like shit, buddy. Like,
Yeah. What's really funny is going to their website. It's usually when someone names their company something, they kind of have a theme in mind and go with that throughout the entire thing. This guy's theme must have been, "Hey, I want to cosplay as Medieval Knight," because on the background of his website, it's just some dude in medieval looking garb holding the sword, being like, "Oh,"
mm.
and it's like,
And they don't do armoring or
really?
special effects.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's really
like,
bizarre.
that's what you went with?
Well, it was probably that guy's
Okay.
backyard,
Yeah,
and he had a suit of
honestly,
armor.
I wouldn't doubt it. I really
Me
wouldn't.
either. Yeah, me either. Because
Um,
that whole industry is a fake it till you make it kind of industry.
yeah, but it's just interesting that it's like, okay, so yeah, usually we
too.
kind of do side with the little guy in most situations, but this situation it's
100%.
kind of like, this isn't
Yeah,
a good look
no.
for you, dude.
No, this is like somebody who goes to fucking McDonald's and they like get their fucking coffee and then they drop an entire rat in it and they go, "Oh, I was served an entire rat in my coffee. I'm gonna sue them for $100 million," and they get nothing except for lawyer fees because obviously they brought a dead rat in and went plunk. Oh,
Yeah.
what? Like, yeah.
Yep.
So actually, speaking of suing things, great transition.
Woohoo.
Yep. A woman named Vicky Shotbolt. Great last name, by the way.
Excuse you?
Shotbolt. Shotbolt. That shot like Detective Brian Shotbolt is like, you know what I'm saying? Like that just sounds like a good.
Yeah.
She is bringing a $656 million lawsuit. It is a collective action claim against Valve in the UK.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
what for? What about?
the complaint reads: companies who hold a dominant position in a market are not allowed to charge excessive or anti-competitive prices. They also cannot impose other unfair trading conditions that prevent or hinder others from competing with them. We believe Valve Corporation has been unfairly shutting out competition for PC games and in game content, which has meant that UK customers have paid too much for these products.
Steam doesn't set the price of the games. The developers
She's saying,
company do.
yes, that is true. That would be point two, yes. But what she's saying is that Valve has a lockdown on basically selling digital things on PC.
Epic Game
I'm
Store,
sorry.
Xbox,
Individual
Game Pass,
individual launchers, Microsoft Store,
Yeah, I mean,
individial launchers,
She-
GOG.
she's never heard of that? Okay. Whatever.
But she wants $656 million.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Here, let me just open the window and throw that out.
Dude, that this is the most unhinged claim. Like, dude, does she not know? Like, Smite had its own launcher for the majority of its life. It wasn't on Steam. It wasn't on Xbox. Like, so you had to go to highres.com. And by the way, Smite isn't even really good enough to do that for. I mean, I loved it and I did that, but like, come on. Like, so there is other games that are better than that also have their own launcher. Shit.
Yep.
Wow. Literally, wow. So Vicky Shotbolt is a leading campaigner for children's digital rights. She's the one that filed the claim. This is from her class representative limited on behalf of all affected gamers at the Competitive Appeal Tribunal. Doesn't this also sound super scammy? Like, okay, I'm glad you also. Okay, so hold on. Vicky accuses Valve Corporation of shutting out competition in the PC market by forcing game publishers to sign up to pricing restrictions that dictate the lowest price games can be sold for on rival platforms. That's just not true.
Yeah.
Like, unless they have some sort of like weird UK division that I've never dealt with, you're right. Here's point number 2. The company who is selling the digital good is the one who is providing the price point. Yeah. Like, I know. If I was going to sell you this and I said, hey, I need to use your shipping facilities, you wouldn't be like, you will now sell that for $13. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not how it works. Like not even Amazon does it that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck this crazy bitch is thinking, but it is fucking hilarious to me.
The thing I'm curious of, though, if she's doing this on behalf of children's digital rights, so the $656 million she's going for, she's just going to pass that all on to the children, right?
Yep. Oh, of course, because she's answering to the Competition Appeal Tribunal. I almost want to start a company called Competition Appeal Tribunal. I want to get shirts made of it. That is fucking hilarious. That is the most like if I was just gonna go, what sounds businessy? and there's a bunch of us, but we have like a very close-knit community. The Competition Appeal Tribunal? It's like you pulled it out of a fucking magic 8 ball.
The funny thing is, though, the more we keep saying it, the more I keep sitting here envisioning in my head, like, okay, there's a whole bunch of people, like, giant hoods over their heads so you can't see anything, robed.
Red robes.
Like, not cauldrons, braziers hanging from the walls and ceilings, and we're all, like...
holding candles.
No, because there's got to be a competitive part to it. So we're all sitting here like playing Smash together.
All hail Sakurai.
God.
That is like literally like the weirdest, funniest thing. Like, I had to bring this article up because as I was reading it, I was like, I'm sorry, what now? And then like I read not even 2 sentences down, what tribunal? Who has used the word tribunal in the last 500 years? Like what? That is so crazy. So, okay. If this goes through, I have more. There's more to this story.
There's more still?
There's more. Okay, and this is like the part that really makes me laugh.
Oh God.
Okay. So what she is blaming at the end of the day is the fact that Steam charges us, the developers, 30%. So that's what she's blaming.
Okay.
It's an excessive commission. we're using a worldwide distribution network, bitch.
Yeah.
A worldwide digital distribution. Again, I have like, and I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And by the way, Epic only charges you slightly less because they charge you more for the Epic fucking for the Unreal Engine.
Yep.
So, anyways, so if this goes through, Valve would owe UK players anywhere from $22 to $44 each. Sweet, I can get that new fucking kidney transplant. Okay, now here's the absolute kicker. This is not the first time Vicky has sued a company in 2022. The firm and Vicky were also involved in a $5 billion lawsuit against Sony, who alleged they ripped people off by charging a 30% commission on PlayStation Store purchases, though it went nowhere. So this bitch is just going around town pointing, Kmart has fucking floors. I'm going to sue them because I have been walking on them and now I have bad knees. Everyone, get me $400 million.
And I hate to say it, but it's sounding like she is very much one of the people that is out to give the video game industry a bad name.
I mean, she's just another one of these, like, oh, my neck. And then she goes, I have the Competition Appeals Tribunal to speak to. You'll hear from them.
Blue says she must belong to the Tribunal of Karen.
Yeah, no shit. If that broad does not have a Karen like haircut, I will eat my own underwear live on stream. Like, I will legitimately cook and eat my own underwear. Like, that is
what was her name?
Get out of here.
I can just get it from the VOD, don't worry.
Fine. I'm gonna come with edible boxers. I'm gonna come with edible boxers. What do you think of that, nerd? I didn't say what type. I'm gonna be here like sautéing them, doing like a fucking entire like cooking fucking portion. You and Paul are both like, "Can we be done with this bit?" And I'm like, "No, I just gotta add the garlic and then we're done." Like,
and then it's dinner time too.
Yeah, exactly. and then I will get the fucking goddamn Competition Appeal Tribunal on your ass. Competition Appeal Tribunal. God damn, that's so good. I hope I never forget those 3 words in that order.
God.
Good. I need to grab a bev real quick.
Okay. God.
What's the next story? I know, so good. So good. You know what? Sometimes I think that like people like that, like I know that they get their way a lot and on like Earth, but like sometimes I feel like when people who have common sense hear shit like that, it's like they were put on planet Earth so we could all go, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your next story? What's the beginning part of it?
I was going to talk about Ubisoft.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I already know, and I'll be right back.
Alrighty. I don't know why I hit that mute button. That did nothing. Oh well. So yes, Ubisoft, for those of you who aren't aware, have apparently been making games, but well, at this point, one really doesn't know because they're not selling well or at all. No, they're just not selling well. But basically, Ubisoft revises their financial target after soft sales of Star Wars. Soft sales is putting it mildly.
Well, we haven't seen full numbers yet. So, like, I am interested when they do their next financial report to see because you're right. Soft sales means like what? Like, because do you remember how like Square Enix would be like 3 million is not enough? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then the
yeah,
rest of us
true.
went, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, so I'm wondering what their version of soft numbers is.
True, true. But the simple fact that like they just released Star Wars Outlaws, which okay, cool. The problem is their next big thing was Assassin's Creed Shadows. That was supposed to release in November of this year.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
pushing it until February of next year. And basically the reasoning behind it is we didn't sell as well on Star Wars Outlaws. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
they're
like,
hiding it behind like polish too, which is kind of lame.
yeah. So that, and considering all the controversy that's been circling around Assassin's Creed Shadows to begin with, it's kind of like, you guys really aren't doing yourself any benefit by claiming soft sales, which we can kind of see somewhat that, yeah, it hasn't been selling as good.
Sure.
But then sitting here going, oh yeah, all this content that's like on disc, well, you got to pay the like super premium ultra edition, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no one's gonna do that. They'll just go to YouTube and be like, oh, my favorite streamer did that. Okay, cool, yay! Now I saw the content. Okay, next.
And that whole price model is bad,
Mhm.
frankly.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's just bad. And did you see the jump in like dollars?
Oh yeah, it
Like,
went from like regular game, which was like $60.
Yep.
The next
Yeah,
edition, whatever. The next edition up
Yeah.
was like 200.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing in
Yikes.
between. What?
Yeah. And that's becoming a little problematic. And I also, this is a quick side tangent. I also don't love this whole, oh, buy the fucking digital deluxe butthole edition and you get to play 2 days early.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
why?
dumb.
And the worst part is that it's working. It's working. That's the thing that annoys me.
On top of that, the simple fact of it's like, okay, you're releasing the game, say, on like a Friday. Okay, so if I buy the deluxe butthole edition, I get in 2 days early. Well, that's
Right.
Wednesday and Thursday. I'm working. I don't have like
Sure.
I'd get home at 5, 6, whatever. Dinner.
Sure.
I won't even get into the game, say, until 7:38. So it's like, why am I paying the super deluxe butthole edition when I'm only going to get like 3 additional hours of play before everyone else does?
For most people.
Yeah.
Right. For most people. Yeah.
So, whereas if they were to say release it on a Monday or Tuesday, then it's like, okay, depending on the amount of days you give ahead of time, depending on the person, it might be worth it. But at the same point in time, it's like, you guys really need to figure shit out. The one thing
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the one thing that they did mention though is, yes, he's such a cute boy. The one thing that they did mention though is they were also going to start looking at departing from the traditional season pass model as far as future things coming up, which,
Okay. What do you got then?
yeah, you got to have something up your sleeve to generate extra revenue, and don't tell us NFTs, because that went over not even as good as a wet fart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you guys mentioned NFTs last time, everyone was like, boo, get rid of it, take it out of your systems now. No one wants it. So
And then they were still championing it like for
Yeah.
a while
Yeah.
until finally they were like, okay. Like it Ubisoft is sinking, I don't even want to say quickly, because it's not. This is like watching a very slow train crash. And everything they're doing is just the opposite of what people are asking for.
yeah,
And they're still holding on to the ways of the past. And the new school stuff that they're grabbing is like, first of all, years behind when it's working, right?
Yep.
So they started doing like battle pass shit in like 2018 when that shit was really introduced in 2016. And by 2018, a lot of us were like, dude, and they're still doing shit like that. They're still doing dumb digital release. It's Sega too. They also do terrible releases with different fucking variations. Then they have to, no company should have to show me a flow chart.
For
do you want
by
this?
Here, yeah.
Get this, and then or if I do this, but if I do it on a blood moon and I've sacrificed a chicken, I also get this fucking DLC outfit. Like,
yeah.
I don't want any of that shit. I literally see it and my eyes go, fuck you. And they basically shut down. And watching a company that I used to respect a lot, frankly, because they really did a lot of very cool titles and they were selective in what they did.
Yep.
Now it feels like they just pack all of this garbage into a blunderbuss and they just shoot it at a wall, hoping that something fucking sticks. Yeah. That is such a terrible fucking business model. And on top of doing that, you're still spending money on these AAA ass, quadruple, let's not forget, you're also talking out your fucking asses, quadruple A titles that are like coming out of the gate dead on arrival.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing, guys? Like, I almost feel like you would be better served to shut the fuck up, make a game that doesn't cost $160 million. Make one that costs, like, that new Prince of Persia was actually pretty good. But the problem is that it was so covered by everything else that the marketing is paying for. Games that flop. Dude, why don't you go, hey, we finally made a fucking really good, like, 2D Metroidvania. Like, dude, why don't you concentrate on that and put your marketing there and then wait and make one game a year? But every fucking year, they just, like, and you can still do your Just Dance games. No one's gonna be mad. Like, you want to keep doing Just Dance, fine. But, like, how about you start doing, like, a rotation? Dude, you know why people are fucking so sick of Assassin's Creed? Because of you. You did this. You fucking did this. You went to that yearly fucking rotation, killed Splinter Cell and a bunch of other good titles, right? To make Ghost fucking Warrior contracts and fucking everything else with goddamn Tom. The only reason that company really even has a fucking leg to stand on anymore is Rainbow Six Siege, and they've still put out an entire side game that went in fucking nowhere. They canceled and basically just turned off the servers. And that's the only fucking thing you have, and you pay it no fucking mind. And then you keep going, maybe this Assassin's Creed will help, and it comes out and it's like, you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe not that one. Maybe how about this one? And then it comes out and it's like, well, I mean, at least it's got both its arms. That's kind of nice. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And going back to your point of the new Prince of Persia game that came out, that had, as far as I know, zero marketing.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Like literally the budget was zero. It was just devs telling people, hey, this is out now.
No, it had to have some because it was on the VGA. It was on VGA.
Okay, so they gave it $2.
I remember seeing one banner but again, I was on a video game news site.
Yeah.
And it was a banner that I instantly was like, X, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, ostensibly zero. Like,
but I mean, realistically speaking, it's like, okay, you have a good game there, but you did
with a cool new compelling character.
But you did nothing to help it, so it's gonna flop because you literally were like, okay, I made a new game. Oh, you want to see it? Shit, where'd I put it? I'll show you next time. It's like, well, that doesn't do us any good.
The problem is that I know what Ubisoft would do. Do you remember that Ubisoft made a trilogy of Assassin's Creed games that were 2D? I do, because I played 2 of them. Russia, China, and the first one, which I can't remember the name of it was.
No, but I don't doubt that they did that, mainly because I never really got into Assassin's Creed.
That's fair. The first one was really good and a really cool take on Assassin's Creed because it was when I was really, really burned out of Assassin's Creed. It was a new person. It was 2D and it was stealth and it was really good and it was received well and did well. And then you know what they did?
They canned it.
They cranked out 2 more titles within 1.5 years.
Oh God,
Dude. This is why we can't have
Yeesh.
fucking nice things, man. Ubisoft does not understand how to do fucking anything. If Ubisoft figured out how to fucking theoretically masturbate, they'd pull their dick off in a fucking 6-month period. Like, they don't know how to fucking control themselves. Like, and that's the problem. Like, you can't offer, hey, this was a delicious meal. Would you like 7 more right now? No, frankly, I'm full.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yep. But this is also why just over the last year, so within the last 365 days, Ubisoft's share price has fallen more than 50%.
oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why the board and investors on the latest call have sat there and said, take the company private. We don't want this shit to go public and see how bad the company is doing.
No. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, I know.
No, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You know what taking a company private means?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Twitter. Prime example.
What do you mean? Well, true.
Elon owns Twitter now. It's private.
Yeah.
He can do whatever the fuck
true.
he wants with it if he wants.
True. I honestly think that the reason that they should do that is because answering to the board has been poisoning that company for the last 15 years. Let's just go 15.
Yeah.
Like when board members are chasing dollars more than you're trying to fucking create art, which do you remember that, Ubisoft?
Apparently not,
when
I
it
don't.
was about making art and good titles?
Yep.
No, it has literally become about the dollar. And that is all that they like. It feels like I've been watching a company have like a fucking Shang Tsung, your soul is mine. And then like the soul just gets ripped out of it. Because I really liked Beyond Good and Evil. I really liked the original 3 fucking Splinter Cell games. There was and is still some very creative and talented people there, but it is just being crushed by the people who want money. And the worst part is they're doing it badly. At least with EA, like they're robot people like churning out gruel, but at least it's reasonable and they're making money doing it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like there is like at least a level of my like respect for that. Like, okay, well, you're soulless monsters, but at least you're making money. Like this is soulless monsters churning out shit and losing money.
Yeah.
That's magnitudes worse, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The competition appeal tribunal displeases of your actions, Ubisoft. You will be brought up on charges.
Yep. But the one thing I will say is it does to me feel like it's a sinking ship to kind of counter you there. However, I will totally agree with the simple fact that instead of them doing the right things to like try and stay afloat, it feels like instead of bailing water out, they're taking buckets, putting them on a rope, throwing them overboard, and pulling them up to put more water in the boat. And it's like, dumbass, stop.
Yeah. And then handing out more buckets.
Yeah.
Like that's the crazy part. Like, why are you doing that? Like, I almost could understand. Like, the ship is on fire, so you do want some water to put out. You know,
the fire. Yeah,
clearly. But that is way too many buckets. Now the ship is riding low. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the way that they're figuring is, hey, eventually the ship will just ride so low, it'll settle on the bottom, and the water's not that deep, right? Yeah,
It's
we
not
can
even
just,
that cold.
yeah,
Like,
we'll be
hold your
fine.
breath. Stop being a
Yeah.
bitch. The thing that really saddens me, and this is like another part that really bums me out. If Ubisoft goes under, it's going to be the same thing as every other time one of these major AAA titles goes under, and there's going to be a fucking chum feeding frenzy.
Oh god.
All these companies are going to be buying up all these IPs, and we are never going to see any of them ever again.
Yep.
Or we're going to get the worst, most soulless version of them once, and then
never
they'll be
see it
gone
again.
forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because,
and that is
because
just
the parent
sad.
company will then sit there and be like, oh, well, that didn't do
Oh,
well.
clearly no
so-
one wants it.
Yeah. And it's like,
Yeah, nobody
no,
wanted this.
clearly people do want it, except for this simple fact of we don't want this unpolished, shitty looking, liquidy turd you handed us.
Right.
That's not what we want.
I have been saying this for 100 million years. Give me a fucking $30 version of just Assassin's Creed multiplayer, up-resed, with servers that work, and give me another game that is $30 with the maps of fucking Splinter Cell, up-resed. I will give you another $30. You are literally sitting on $60 of very minimal work for you guys. You do nothing. Both
Yep.
those games, literally, it was level design in Splinter Cell that carried the game, and player interaction, and level design and player interaction. They don't have to balance anything ostensibly.
Yep.
There is no work involved.
Yep.
Baffling, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Baffling.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
But they don't even want to do that little bit of work to get that
No,
done.
because that would make sense.
Yep.
Because that would make sense. Like, especially because there is supposed to be this fucking upcoming reboot of Splinter Cell, and they're doing the original, which cool, but the original didn't. Chaos Theory. The reason Chaos Theory did so well is because Chaos Theory had fucking multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
No bells and whistles. It was, here's the levels. Buys versus mercs. Go.
Yep.
That was it. There was no DLC, no fucking season pass, no nothing. People loved that game.
Oh, yeah.
Still to this day, I am still talking about it. It is 2024. It is almost 2025. Like,
Yep.
Frustrating. Should we talk about? We got 15 more minutes. So did you see this California law that just came into effect in
Yes.
2025?
Yes, I did.
You did. So it is going to be making it illegal for sellers to use terms like buy or purchase in relation to digital goods, movies, books, and video games.
Yep.
Unless they provide a clear and conspicuous. Conspicuous? Okay, that might have been beer number 6 talking.
Yeah, that was.
Warning. Yeah, 100%.
Concise.
Warning to consumers that those goods could be taken away at any time.
Basically, what they're saying is they have to, in plain language statement, saying you don't own the game,
Shit.
book, movie. You own a license to play, view, read the game, book, movie.
What a fucking world we live in.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I have a bunch more on this, but I just would like to start by saying this. This is probably a good thing, right? Right now,
Mm-hmm.
this is a step in the right direction, right? Like, this is a step in the right direction. But, my God, dude, like, how do we have to explain this to fucking companies? Like, so tedious.
To be fair, though, from the article I read of this, part of this was spurred on, though, because of Ubisoft.
I know. No. They were the cherry on top. It was actually Sony who started the fire. I got the order. I
Okay.
came with the receipts. I
Okay.
came with the receipts.
Okay.
But Ubisoft was the cherry on top of the shit Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is, man, our fucking segues tonight have been like spot on.
Oh, yeah.
So the law AB 2426, I literally fucking control C, control V that. What a loser I am. Basically, it expands on the existing laws against false advertising by restricting the use of any terms which maybe a reasonable person would understand to confer unrestricted ownership. Super crazy because I didn't realize that was the angle that they were going for. The false advertisement thing, I didn't realize that was how they had to slowly explain it to
Spin it.
companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, if you aren't giving it to them, that is a lie. Like, that's how they had to explain it to
Hey.
them. It's true,
Yeah.
100%. So, to ensure that people understand that digital ownership isn't really ownership, sellers will need to either receive an affirmative acknowledgement from the purchaser, which is great. So now I'm going to get another fucking pop up that's going to go, we would just like you to fucking check this box. It's going to be a huge another form, like an end user, like, dude, that's what it's going to be. Go ahead.
Did you
But that's what it's gonna be.
Did you notice recently on Steam you had that pop up?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is in reference to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. At the time of transaction, or, and this is obviously a more practical approach, put a warning in a manner that clearly calls to attention to the language on relevant products. Do you remember when we were able to have nice things?
Yeah.
That was nice, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice time. Like when I was able to just walk in and be like, I would like one of these, please. And they would be like, do you have money?
Here
And I
you-
would go, yes. And we would go, sweet, and exchange the things. And that was the end of it.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
So I have a little bit more of this because I, of course, had to go down this rabbit hole because, again, I kept going, I can't believe these are the things that we have to fucking do at this point.
Yep.
Assembly member, I'm assuming she is part of the council. Assembly member Jackie Irwin. She is the sponsor of the bill, which, you know what, we shouldn't dog on Jackie because she is sponsoring. We are going to make fun of this more than
It deserves.
at the end of the day. This is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
This is a good thing,
Mhm.
but it's just the fucking absurdity of it that's killing me. But Jackie is doing us a solid here. So Jackie Irwin was the sponsor of the bill. If you don't know anything about the American government, you basically have to have one fucking person go, I am putting this bill up for vote. So usually the person that's like the most avid for that
Yeah.
bill. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Told GameFile, which I have never heard of that institution, she was initially prompted to take action by Sony's planned removal of Discovery content from the PlayStation Store because of expiring licenses. Not only would the show no longer be available for purchase, but those who had already purchased them would lose access. Sony eventually reversed the decision, but the damage was done. Jackie introduced the bill on February. So, the way that I read this was Jackie really, really liked Discovery content, like a haunting or something, and she had gone through the Sony service and like bought like a bunch of seasons, and then she was like, "Oh fuck these people." That's kind of the way I read that, which I kind of love her a little bit more because of my own headcanon. But it is funny that this is on Sony initially. 2 months later, dun dun dun. Ubisoft helped convince her that that was the right move when it started revoking licenses for the racing game The Crew. Sales of The Crew had already been halted in the 23rd of December, but the game, including its single-player portions, was dependent on remote servers, and those went offline in April. That rendered the game unplayable even for those who already owned it, but Ubisoft apparently wanted to be sure that nobody whipped up a DIY option to get the game running again. Now, this is the other part of this. Dude, if you don't give a shit like about your stuff. Oh, by the way, I have one more quote from Jackie. Ubisoft's action with The Crew further highlighted just how widespread the issue is. That is a direct quote from Jackie, and I love her for literally calling that shit out.
Yep.
That is cool, and she clearly knows like some shit. So, like, basically, at the end of the day, the aforementioned digital products are basically going to have these three things: an affirmative acknowledgement transaction. So, another pop up that goes,
Yep.
"Do you know that you're purchasing something that can be taken away from you?" The digital content is free. Okay, if it's free, I guess I kind of understand that. Sure.
Yep.
Or it offers a permanent offload download to an external storage server to be used without a connection to the internet. That is huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Oh yeah.
That's huge. That's that to me. That's the biggest part.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the biggest things that when the news about the crew hit, that was one of the biggest things that a lot of the player base was just like, send out a patch and let us just play the single player part of it
Or the source
by
code.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, or the source code.
Well, I mean, they weren't even asking for that. They were just like, put out a patch to let us still play the single player part of it
Sure.
by ourselves because we like
Sure.
the game. Why are you punishing us for having a physical copy of the game and now sitting here going, no, you can't even play the game, period. And it's like, yeah, it really just sucked.
Yeah. I think that there just needs to be concessions made here.
Mhm.
Like, right? Like, dude, I don't give a shit if you want to take stuff off. Like the like Jackie's version of the Discovery shows, right? Like, if I want to watch Naked and Alone and I have paid my money for Naked and Alone, let me download it to my device and then I can just own it, right? Like,
Yep.
no strings fucking attached. I'm totally fine with that. Like,
Mhm.
you know why? Because I paid you the fucking money, assholes. Like, or lower your prices and tell me that that's okay too. I think that like that's like where the like friction is going to come from, because I don't personally feel okay with signing a EULA for, and again, this is going to go back to like, please stop telling me that digital or physical is dead.
Yeah. That's the other thing is with all of this, it's like everyone's just like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you can buy this, and here's this acknowledgement telling us that, hey, this could be taken away from us at any point in time that the parent company decides, hey, I want to take this away from you now. But at the same point in time, everyone's just like, oh, physical is dead. You can only get digital. It's like, well, then bring fucking physical back.
Right. Don't offer me a more expensive fucking PlayStation 5 Pro without a fucking goddamn drive.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that as an idea? And like, it's not like it's expensive to make Blu-rays.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not.
it's not. It's not. Like, like it's just not. This is all just coming back to once again, like literal corporate greed.
Mhm.
This license is too expensive for us now. Fuck these users.
Yep.
Like, like fuck you. Like, fuck these companies. So we're gonna have to come to a middle ground here, or I'm gonna show up building a guillotine in front of somebody's house. Like, because I am fucking already so over it. And it's like still just the beginning of this conversation.
Okay.
This is exactly like the NFT thing where I'm like, oh my god, please, let's just not, just no more. I can't do it anymore. Like, I don't want to do this with every fucking topic anymore. I just really wish there was some beacon of humanity and normalness that a company could be, that I could go, just do what these guys are doing. We're all giving them tons of money. Remember when it was Netflix?
Yep.
Remember when it was Netflix? And now Netflix is the fucking devil?
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck? Like, oh god.
They want to just own us and pretty much do. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Say it again.
Blue just said they want to own us, and they pretty much do.
No, I know. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But like, you know what? Like, when I am having like sweet relations with a person, I want it to be consensual and dirty. Like, but consensual is the first thing I go for.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of those two things, that's my number one. I don't mind being fucking fucked over, but like, just, leave me a mint on the pillow, or like how about a copy of the sex tape? Even that I'd be happy with, frankly. That's a terrible analogy. God damn. I know. It's late and this is beer number fucking 6 and like it's just not going good.
Yeah.
Whatever. We filled a lot of time like we always do.
Oh, of course we do. By the way, just because we're talking about it so much all of a sudden this episode, well, both of them really, Ubisoft and NFTs. As we mentioned, Ubisoft was trying to get into NFTs, blah blah blah. All that bullshit backfired on them. The entire industry was like, "No, none of us wants this. Go the fuck away with it." Ubisoft couldn't even give away the NFTs to their staff and developers.
Yeah.
At which point, you kind of then have to sit there for Ubisoft's people in charge, being like, even our own company isn't willing to take our NFTs.
Right.
Maybe
like that's
we
how
should
radioactive.
not do these.
Right. That's how radioactive those things were. And now it's AI. Like, you know, that's the next thing. And you know what? Here's the good thing. Here's the takeaway we should really take away from this. Of all of tonight's bullshit. We, the general public, won against NFTs. And we, the general public, will end up winning against AI. Like, until the robots actually come. Then we're all fucked.
Yeah.
But the AI will become a tool. You know what I'm saying? It will make things easier for artists in ways, right? It'll just be a tool set.
Yep.
There's no way. But right now, like, this is just another one of those things where companies just get that, like, Scrooge McDuck, the fucking cha-ching eyeballs, and they get blinded because of that.
Yep.
But if we all stand up together and go, no, thank you. No. Put that shit back in your evil sack of fucking Krampus with your whip and your bullshit. We don't want that. And it's going to be the same thing with the digital stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we just need to come to, there's going to be some friction and they're going to have to hear us because at the end of the day, we are the majority, not the minority.
Oh, yeah.
We are the majority.
Mm-hmm.
So we will hopefully win. Like, you know, so I don't know. It's just frustrating to keep like every year it feels like now to be like, so what new evil bullshit have you come up with this year? And they're like, we were thinking about turning ducks into robot slaves. Would you like to pay $30 for that? And I go, no, what the fuck do you have against ducks now? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels bad.
Yep.
Like, it just feels bad. And then some companies like, we just have regular robots that are duck shaped. And I go, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I will buy a robot duck. That's fine by me. Like,
yeah. As long as it quacks. If it
yes,
doesn't, if it doesn't quack, I'm
cute,
out.
like wacky thing, maybe the bread biting thing.
Cool.
Also, my analogies have been all over the fucking place tonight.
Hey, but that's the best part of our show is your analogies, my dad jokes. Hey, we're good.
It's true. That's right. That's kind of why we're a good combo. Like,
Yep. Although I will say, Storm did come up with a good dad joke.
Which was?
Just joined a dating site for arsonists. They sent him a lot of matches.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. Also weird. Like, which I also kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have anything else?
One that would be a conversation piece, and considering it's 11 o'clock, I don't want to get into that right now.
Yeah, it's fair.
So
I also have not smoked at all this entire night.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed.
Yep.
So good on you for that.
Thank you. I hate Paul for this, but I appreciate your face. No, it's just because I don't have any nicotine right now. 2 hours out of nicotine. I'm like, but I did maintain up until this moment, so I'm still pretty happy about it.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know where that was going.
I don't know. Not next week, but the week after. Maybe we do. I don't know. I guess we just play it by ear, but like probably 2 weeks from now, right?
Yeah, I mean we've kind of gone to that.
Is there anything going on in October at all? Like gaming convention stuff? I don't think so. Not even a Nintendo, I don't think.
I don't
Or
know.
no, State of Play was just happened. Xbox did their thing at fucking Gamescom. Yeah, I don't think there's shit. Hey, yeah, fuck it, 2 weeks.
And VGAs were last month, weren't they?
No, VGAs are in December.
December? Okay.
Yeah,
Shit's blurring together.
that's fair. Well, we have been doing this for a while,
Yeah.
and I've been doing it even longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna go say goodbye to my stream. Goodbye, Rich's stream,
Goodbye, Alex's stream.
and I will talk to you in a second.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. Unfortunately, that'll be it for us tonight. It is 11 o'clock. It's just after, which means we're gonna unfortunately turn into pumpkins and have to get out of here. Yeah. Oh well. Only six beers. How many butts? Way too many. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. Regardless, guys, thank you all for being here. Kratos Storm, thank you for the resubs. Gotta love it, even though it was both of you somehow managed to get Carolina Reapers for the spins, so thank you very much. My butthole will hurt me tomorrow, or later tonight, I don't know. Either way, it's all good. But I will see you hopefully back here tomorrow with some more Satisfactory, and yeah, that'll be interesting. I think actually for Satisfactory, I may just go walkabout and try and find hard drives. Woohoo! That'll be fun. But I'll figure it out before then, before tomorrow. Till next time, though, guys, I will catch you all later. Have a good one. Bye!